make a living. Crypto is on the rise, making that dough in the crypto paradise. Watching it grow, buying low, selling high. Riding the wave, I'm here to stay, living in the digital age. No banks, no fees, just decentralized. It's crypto paradise. Ooh. No banks, no fees.
Good morning from paradise. I'm so excited for today's show. It's October 8th, and we got our boy Web3 Nate back with us. He has been on the road 2 weeks on the road, grinding away at the conferences, doing the hard work that it takes to find you guys the gems and the narrative and the sexy talking points for this bull run. So we're going to cover what happened at the conferences, what narratives are hot, and what should we be looking out for. Guys, it's BNB season. It's BNB season. We're learning Mandarin over here. We're trying to find Chinese memes for you guys. That's how hard we're working here at Crypto Paradise. So we'll cover what's going on BNB wise. And then Bitcoin. Where's it going? Up, down, sideways? Is it going to hit some of our targets? Is Frontier Fund still making money for us? We're going to have a lot of good stuff to cover today, guys. So first of all, welcome back, Nate. How were the conferences?
Ni hao ma. What's going on, guys?
Nate actually does probably know a little bit, huh?
Nah, Vietnamese is more my forte. I'm not so fluent on the Mandarin or Cantonese, but yes, BNB season in full swing. Loving the memes out there. People brushing up on their Mandarin to catch the wave. I mean, it just goes to show the power. We talk a lot about Pulse Chain. It's no surprise to anybody that watches how big that we're Pulse Chain fans. We talk a lot about the cult of personality. This is another prime example. We've talked about obviously, we're in regards to Richard Hart, but we related that to Charles at Cardano and all these other figures. This is the power of those cult personalities. CZ coming back. I mean, nothing's really happened on BNB outside of CZ changing from X Binance to Binance, but them buying Aster, and now look at absolutely unstoppable, over $1,200 BNB. Meme season popping off. You've got people migrating. Another that's actually another Bold makes lots of really good memes here. That was another one. Yeah, people migrating from Sol. The degens coming from Sol over to BNB. Right. So all this really spiked off of the power of CZ to get out there. Hitman likes to call him the most active billionaire in the world, right? Constantly on Twitter, but expect when the handcuffs are finally off Richard Hart and he gets out there and really starts hitting the campaign trail and deploying some funds. This is the kind of stuff we can see happening on Pulse Chain as well. But not to take the tension away from BNB. I know we want to cover a lot of that here. Definitely want to talk a bit about the conferences. I'm back. My voice is kind of gone, but it's great to see you guys. Great to be back with the Crypto Paradise fam and back on the live stream here.
Yeah, and I mean, CZ just been super active. BNB just keeps ripping. Aster's worth billions, and the trenches really came alive yesterday and the past couple days. We got on Palu early, around $6 million market cap. It's sitting at $100 million. We got on BNB meme season early, SZN at 750K. That's sitting at $15 million market cap. Maybe there's another one we could discuss. I don't have as high of conviction on it, but when these type of things are going on, you got to take some profits and throw it in the trenches and see what sticks to the wall. I mean, I don't see this slowing down. Obviously, people are like, oh, this is the top signal. This is it. I mean, maybe. I mean, Bitcoin is having some red candles. ETH is having some red candles. But in the midst of that yesterday, BNB season still went on. And if you think that CZ and Aster are going to let this momentum die so quickly, just after a couple days, I think you're wrong. Could it last only a week? Could it last only a month? Well, that's more realistic. But just a couple days with the momentum and morale they have, just like the meme Nate was just showing, people are just now deciding if they're going to bridge over or not. They haven't even got over here yet, so I do think there is more time for BSC, for BNB season. And really, at the end of the day, BNB is multi-cycle. It is now the third largest asset in all of crypto. just like Ethereum and the Ethereum trenches. I don't think they're going anywhere. Sometimes they just get a little slower or hotter at any given time. So we've been big proponents of BNB since the beginning. We've been talking about BSC. We've helped projects launch on BSC. And, we're here for it. We got BNB bags. We got cake bags. And now we have some meme coin bags that we're all about.
I don't see this slowing down in a week. I mean, that doesn't make sense. Remember the last meme coin, quote, super cycle that Murad and everyone was talking about? That was like 6 months or even longer over on Solana. I mean, that thing just kept going. So I don't see this one stopping after 1 week, especially when Bitcoin's at $122,000. ETH is finally running. Like, there's a lot of money that's come into the space, and there's more bullishness and risk on attitude than even the last meme coin cycle. So it's kind of funny to think back, last summer what was going on, but it was all about the memes. It was all over on Solana. Murad talked about, well, you'd like to see the second half of this cycle also be meme focused. I don't think anyone was predicting that it would be on BNB chain though. So, the market likes to throw some curveballs at you, but no, this ain't slowing down. I mean, eventually it will, become a story of diminishing returns. Once there's 10 million memes launched on BNB chain, it's hard to find upside on any one of those, and the risk, goes up dramatically. But if we're 2 days into this, we have more time to go. I guess, for us, the key is going to be helping to find the strong ones that have good upside potential, like Palu and the one you mentioned, Meme Season. Those are two solid ones, it sounds like, that we've been talking about here. And then we got to keep our ear and eyes to the trenches to find you guys the next one before this whole thing does sputter out. So I think we got another month or two. And then who knows? You switch it on their chain, or the narrative will switch. It doesn't mean the bull market will end. It just means, hey, memes on BNB chain, that narrative kind of died out, and then we'll look on to the next thing.
Well, no one thought that Solana was going to be home of memes until it was, right? If you go back, like the original memes, the original meme season, if we look back to Pepe, to Mong, to like all of the blue chip, I mean, even, going back to Doge and Floki, like those were all on ETH and a little, well, I mean, Floki was BNB, but like most of those, ETH was the place for memes. The reason I didn't get into memes in the first place is because it was too damn expensive to pay the gas to get in. So like, that's why I missed out on a lot of those memes. That's why I missed out on Pepe. That's why I missed out on Mong. I got sent them both. I got sent Pepe a sub 5 million and sub 15 million market cap. Hitman was sending us all Mong at like super low rates. And like, I skipped it because it was Ethereum. Memes suck, but that was the home for memes, was Ethereum, until it wasn't, and then it was Solana. And then when they started coming over to Solana, everyone's like, Solana, isn't that the chain that crashed with FTX? It's Solana's dead. Well, it's not dead anymore. Now we have seen a lot of other networks try to generate hype, try to generate user transaction volume and bring in users with like a faux meme season. We saw Tron do it. We saw, what was it, like IVX or Injective tried it. Base tried it. Like we've seen a lot of others try it, but these aren't BNB. These aren't CZ, right? So if anybody's got a chance to take some of the market share in the meme world from Solana, BNB's got as good of a damn chance as anybody does.
Yeah, I want to touch base on that real quick because you mentioned base. And the reason that the other ones have failed is because A, you don't have the figurehead, you don't have the centralized exchange, you don't have the money. Oh, wait a second. Base has all of those. I don't know if he's afraid of the regulatory with the U.S. government because they are FDIC insured, but we do know there is Binance US now. Binance is rumored to be able to allow U.S. citizens very soon. CZ's out of jail rubbing elbows with Trump, and he's out here doing this. If something can catch on, I don't understand how base is still so irrelevant. Now, we talk about how the base airdrop could be coming, and this is how you can spur momentum. You give people riches over there. You have base airdrop, they need a perp dex to go off, and then they can inject, oh, how do you create a meme season? Start listing them on Coinbase. Like, what are we doing over there? I don't get it. It hasn't happened yet. Will it happen? I don't know, because Brian Armstrong hasn't proven that he can make it a reality. But a lot of what Binance has and Ethereum has is power, money, influence, and the access to centralized exchanges. Coinbase has that. They just haven't been able to do anything with it. And this is why a lot of places can't do it fakely. If it isn't organic, it's not going to work because they don't have all that. Like CZ and Binance have so much money, they can literally pump these memes up, tweet about it, then they can list it on Aster, then they list it on Binance Alpha, then some of them get a Binance listing. Like, that forces charts to go higher, and that's why they have so much success at it, and that's why BSC continues to be a narrative cycle after cycle. We'll see how long this time lasts.
Well, that's the key difference. I just want to say the key difference between Binance and Coinbase and CZ and Brian Armstrong. Brian Armstrong has always sort of thumbed his nose at memes. He's been on record saying that memes are not good for the industry. We need to get past memes. It's a fake use case. It just detracts from DeFi and like all the wonderful things that crypto can do as technology. So I don't think he's going to embrace memes anytime soon and do exactly what CZ. CZ's like, give the people what they want. Let the degens be degens. They want to turn crypto a casino. It was always a casino. We're just, embracing it and pretending it's not something that it isn't. So, that's, I think, the core difference between those guys. But, let's ride this BNB season as long as it lasts. And then who knows, maybe base season next, or, maybe we'll ship back to Solana, or who knows where it's going to go. But we will keep our eyes and ears to the trenches to let you guys know our thoughts and where the money's shifting next.
Brian Armstrong is definitely a big name in the space, no doubt, but he's much more of like an institutional name than a household name. CZ's the household name. CZ's got the star power to get out there and move stuff. I bet if you went and you polled 100 like random degens, like 99% of them would know who CZ is. I don't know, maybe 50% would know Brian Armstrong, maybe less.
Not even.
That's
yeah,
true.
so like it definitely two big names, but like different level of star power. And I think different ability to move numbers. Obviously they both got huge bankrolls, but in terms of like tweet ability to go viral, two different levels of firepower there between CZ and Brian Armstrong.
Yeah, Brian Armstrong never really used his name before. In the past, in 2017, the biggest mover of the markets was Coinbase announcing the new listing, and they kind of fumbled that bag. They fumbled that power over time, and I think that was because the SEC came down on them. Regulatory uncertainty, the United States government, you got to be really careful, versus Binance is a Chinese company. So they kind of had that leeway to continue momentum. But yeah, it would be nice if Coinbase got that power back, partially because US-based company, we've had success with that in the past. I think we could have success with that. We wouldn't have to learn Mandarin, or I have Google Translate open to try to get the most out of it, which would be nice. But we'll see. I think base season, we've been talking about it. The airdrop is what could make that a reality, so hopefully that comes sooner than later and they don't miss their window of opportunity.
Look at that. One final point. Brian Armstrong did do something wonderful in this industry. While CZ was out bull posting and liquidating people on leverage, Brian Armstrong was hobnobbing with politicians, and he helped push through the Bitcoin ETF, and he got institutions involved. So if you held Bitcoin or ETH, and you're happy that that's at $125,000, Brian Armstrong did have his role in that. But if you're a pure degen, then who gives a shit about Bitcoin, right? So in any event, look at this. Look at this. Unbelievable. I'm not surprised based on everything we've been talking about monitoring here, but Solana is a distant third now. It's crazy.
What's crazy to me there is Ethereum.
In there, the silent underdog, Tron, number 4.
Tron has a tremendous amount of stablecoin volume based on emerging market, basically stablecoin transactions.
And China.
And a little China action. Yeah, I guess in China, who knows? I don't know. China seems to be all about gold these days. I don't know how much they care about Bitcoin and crypto, but Tron's there. I don't think degens care. Hyperliquid, of course, all the perpetuals trading, and then look at BNB, man. Congrats, CZ. Congrats.
Yeah, let's look at a couple charts, and then we'll get to some news articles, because I know Nate's got more, but let's get some charts in here before we get too deep in here. If people are trying to figure out if they're buying or selling, we'll have to start with BNB, because that's what we've been talking about. Still sitting here above $1,300. Bitcoin and Ethereum had a little bit of a correction yesterday, and BNB didn't even really move. So, can this thing just keep consolidating and going for another high? It certainly looks like it wants to repeat itself. A good rally, a consolidation, and another rally. $1,500 would be the next move to the breakout. That would be pretty wild. Obviously, you would think it would need a little help from Bitcoin and ETH, but if you look at the BNB Bitcoin chart, nobody talks about this because Bitcoin OGs aren't going to tell you it. The trenches, everybody was focused on Solana and Ethereum's growth and everything else. But look at BNB versus Bitcoin. This thing has outperformed it massively since July. Just straight up. That's wild. Nobody's talking about BNB until now, until the trenches come alive. And I think this goes a lot at what we talk about momentum and morale. People don't really take a second look at BNB this whole time. Nobody really talks about it. But now that they find opportunity, or they feel they have opportunity with altcoins and Aster and all the new options over on BSC, now and only now are they really taking Binance and BNB coin serious again. And that's what we're trying to tell you guys with Pulse Chain and with Ethereum and everything else. Right now, Ethereum is in the news, but it's all institution. There's no retail excitement there. Ethereum really gets that next wave when it gets above 5,000 and retailers come back and there's opportunities, whether it's DeFi yield, whether it's altcoins, whether it's builders, developers, it doesn't matter. You need retail to really get the chatter going on social media. This is a social media driven economy. And right now, if retail's not in the market, nobody's finding out about your projects and nobody's really excited. Institutions can keep buying their billions and that'll slowly take the chart up higher, but there's no hype behind institutions.
Shout out to all the viewers. Roan popping in, excellent point. ETH starts pumping, the degens will leave BNB and chase on ETH. Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna see like a meme season on ETH though. It'll be interesting. Maybe we'll have to find out. I mean, you're probably right though. Once once ETH is like running, and it's beyond 5,000, then hit 6,000, then 7 or whatever. If that does happen, I mean, you will see a groundswell of retail moving over to the degen plays on ETH. So I think you're probably right on that. But everything comes in waves. Everything comes in cycles, right? And right now, hey, it's BNB's turn. It's memes on BNB. This won't last forever. Eventually, another narrative will take hold, and money will cycle into that narrative. Hopefully, it is ETH, because I got a lot of money in ETH, and I got a lot of money on ETH memes. But you never really know how this is going to play out. So we will be here monitoring all for you. I just want to say hello to everybody else jumped in. Martin, hello. Hex, hello. Todd, thank you for joining as always. Smash like, share, subscribe. Danny, what's up, bud? Oh, where are you? Good morning. If you guys want to leave comments, go to the YouTube. And we want to hear from you too, like coins that you like, anything you're looking at on BNB chain or any other chain, maybe some low cap gems. We'd love to hear from you guys, and we can take a look at those charts and analyze those for you. But any other news stories or charts we want to cover?
Yeah, Ethereum quickly. We'll just do Ethereum quickly, and then I'll let you pull it up. Yesterday in the live show, we were calling for it to go lower back into this box of opportunity here, and it hit 4,400 so far. We are rallying a bit today. If it drops again, you know, you're going to get the doom and gloomers out. I really think based off these indicators, RSI is already resetting heavily, technometers resetting, and you have moving averages here. I think you probably only go to like 4,200, 4,300, and then everybody would be saying, oh, see, top's in, we're going much lower, and that could be a major pivot point for the bull run to continue on. And that's only a couple $100 lower. Same thing applies to Bitcoin. A move down to like 119 would be enough to really shake out all of the bulls, get people turning bearish, and really that would just be an A down, a B up, a C down for completion, and then you work on 5 waves higher to 150K and beyond by the end of the year.
Let's go. Yeah, it's so funny how the sentiment shifts so quick. Like, I don't know, last 4 or 5 days, everyone's super bullish. Like, I'm in these groups, even the groups I'm in that are like notably bearish, they all of a sudden got bullish again. And then as soon as that red candle appeared, oh yeah, bull market's over. Yeah, we were right, bear. You know, here's the bear market, and I'm so glad I sold. So it's just funny, man. Like, I don't think people are fully convicted on this bull run for whatever reason. They're still skeptical about it, and they think things are going to be bearish any minute. They're going to get left in the dust, I'll tell you that much, because I don't think this bull run's slowing down. Not with gold at $4,000, not with S&P 500 all-time highs every single day.
What?
Fed cutting rates. Like, what's going to stop the momentum now, guys? Like World War III breaking out? Well, Palestinians and Israel's about to come to a deal too. So I don't know. I just think this thing's going, and you're bearish and you sold. Good luck to you.
Well, I agree, and I think everybody's still got PTSD. They're still, you know, people are so used to just getting rugged and that manipulated by the market. They're like, what's happening next? Oh, they're gonna fake out an all-time high. Oh, now they're gonna dump us double top, like blah blah, whatever. What do we have to do? Like, at what point, if we rip to 150, are people then like, okay, it's on, or are they still skeptical? Like,
that's the next top.
We have to pump high to get people over this. Like, okay, we're into the belief phase now. It really is a bull run. We really are gonna pump. You know, every 10% dip isn't the end of the world. You know, like, this is just an hour ago from Coin Bureau. Traders are again shorting Bitcoin. New all-time high, 4 billion in shorts liquidated. So I don't know.
I like Sparsh's comment on that tweet. Send the Bears back to hell with haste. Send Bitcoin to all-time high now.
Well, it kind of goes to our thesis that this bull market, first of all, it's different. It's been different. It's going to continue to be different than prior cycles. And you dig into that further, I think what I mean by that is that it's more likely than not that we just continue to have this slow grind up. And by that I mean pump, correction. Pump, correction. It's not going to be like this 30%, 40% in a week kind of thing. And, we're all rich in a month. I think it's just slow grind up. And when that happens, it gives ammunition to both the bears who are rejoicing on every dip and also the bulls. But if you zoom out, I think we are going to end up at $150,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year just on a slow grind.
When we called this dip at the beginning of October, we said, hey, get rate cuts are bullish, but typically short term, there's going to be, some sort of pullback. Now, personally, I thought we were going to go a lot lower. I was in the camp calling, thinking we somewhere in the 105 range, and that it was going to extend a lot longer through October. But we got that quick down. I think it just under 109K, V-shaped recovery back out, new all-time high. So, what does that mean for the cycle? I mean, we still have room, in my opinion, where we could go down a little bit in October and still finish October in the green. So, people just need to not freak out at every time we have a red day when we just ripped from 109 to 126,000. We just ripped 17K in a week.
I know, but now we're down 2%. So the bull market's over apparently. Shout out to Martin. Q1 2026, yeah, man. I think, look, this thing is going longer and it's going harder than people realize. Alan agrees. Fuck the doubters. Nobody cares about them. You're right, but the problem is there's 50% of the market is apparently still doubters, and we're out here banging our, banging our drums, shouting from the rooftops. We've been shouting from the rooftops since Bitcoin was at what 60, 50K. Back when everyone was panicking. Remember last summer when Germany was dumping and everyone. We've been saying hodl, buy the dips. We're in a bull run. We've been talking about this for years, and yet 50% of the market's still bearish. So I mean, bro, we got to keep banging our drums until people decide to finally hold for once. Just hold. It's not that hard. I made a lot of money in crypto, guys. I did it. I just held. I just fucking held. So it doesn't have to be that complicated, but yeah, sure. Germany lost what I was on 3 billion. They lost 3, or was it 6 billion?
When we hit 124 and a half, 125 the other day, yeah, 3.3 plus billion. Now what they missed out on by
don't
selling
be like
that.
Germany, guys. Just hodl Bitcoin. Yeah. It's not that difficult. Wow. But
also,
fuck them. I'm glad they're out. I'm glad they're out. They would have sold now and it would have sucked.
Yeah, the crazy thing is now Germany will have to hold face and just never have a Bitcoin strategic reserve, even though all the other countries around them are going to have it. That's how stubborn these politicians are. They'll refuse to put it into place. It'll probably be 5-10 years before Germany makes their Bitcoin strategic reserve because they got to live with this cake on their face.
Well, you need the old guard to have died off or finally retired. All these boomers, they don't retire. Mom, Dad, it's time to retire. You're 75 years old. What are you guys doing out there? Fucking Jerome Powell, bro. Jesus Christ. We need the millennials to finally become in charge of these institutions and the governments around the world. And then you will see, what's happening right now? Poland's buying gold. China's buying a shit ton of gold. Fast forward 20 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, our generation's in charge. We ain't buying gold at the tops. We ain't buying gold at $40 trillion market cap. We're going to be buying Bitcoin at, let's say 5 trillion. Buy low, sell high. So it's all happening, guys. Zoom out. We are in a good spot. But fortunately, a lot of bears still don't seem to believe what's right before their eyes.
Yeah, along those lines, Willy Woo, fiat's an annual 5% wealth tax, use 5% debasement, yada, yada. If you do actual debasements in 71, more like a 70% annual wealth tax. That's why everybody's moving into hard assets. That's why gold's up 50% in 9 months. That's why Bitcoin is pumping like crazy. That's why, the dollar is sitting on, where's my chart, a 14-year trend line for support. Nobody believes in the fiat system anymore. You can only print yourself into oblivion so many times and so often. you can only manipulate your own currency, and to a certain extent, eggs can only be so many tens of dollars per carton before people stop believing that fiat is worth anything.
Yeah, and we're actually lucky here in the States because our inflation is very, very low relative to, I mean, you go to places like, I mean, forget about, the Argentinas of the world, but even like a Turkey, they're dealing with like 30% inflation like it's nothing. We're freaking out about is it 2.8 or is it 2.6, Powell? And meanwhile, there's countries in the world that are suffering at 30-40% annual inflation. So, you have to be invested in hard assets. You have to be in the markets. Scary thought, though. I mean, if our dollar is losing, 6.9% annually, my stock market portfolio is barely outperforming that. I mean, maybe 8 to 10%. So even the stock market looks like shit when you think about it from that standpoint. So buy Bitcoin, buy ETH. Hopefully you bought BNB and you're in these memes too to escape the fiat scam.
Yeah, I just saw a great post. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. Let me share this on here. I thought this was very apropos to what we're talking about here. When gold is up 50% in 9 months, it's absolutely meaningless that the S&P is up 10%.
Yeah, and gold getting right to that $4,000 target.
Wow.
So, I mean, right around these levels is what we were looking for gold to be, 3,900 to 4,000. Maybe you get a blow off to 4,200, but, Bitcoin lags gold by like 80 days. So I think Bitcoin continues to go higher. Gold's running into major overhead resistance, and we'll see how things play out here in the near term.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just got to be diversified because this gold trade, I mean, I guess you could say in hindsight it was predictable. It wasn't to me. I mean, you already had the most, back before this run started, it was already the most valuable asset on the planet by orders of magnitude of like 3 or 4 times. And now it's like 10 or 20x more than like the most valuable asset. So, I mean, was this predictable? Maybe. I don't know. I do not have any gold other than a couple random chains and shit because I'm a Bitcoin guy. But I just feel like, like Nick said, there is a lag. Bitcoin will eventually reach parity with gold. Not necessarily in terms of market cap, but in terms of performance over a given period of time. And so if gold, if gold goes up 10%, you expect Bitcoin to go up like 30% or 40, maybe even more, and that's going to happen, guys. So if you're bearish, I don't know what to tell you, but I guess I'm happy that you're selling bags to the bulls.
Well, and gold going up 50% in 9 months, gold doubling in under a couple, whatever it was, 2 years, whatever time frame was. Like that's not. Like people look at that like, oh, a 2x, cool. It's like, no, you didn't understand. This is more than 15 trillion with a T dollars that came in last cycle. We were talking about $10 trillion market cap gold. Now it's almost $25 trillion market cap gold. That is an mind-bogglingly substantial amount of money. So it's a massive deal for gold to have moved this much. It's a lot more significant than a 2x.
Right.
That a lot of people are.
We only need a couple trillion. A couple trillion to trickle down into Bitcoin. I mean, that seems reasonable, right? A couple trillion, and then we've 2x Bitcoin. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
what will happen this cycle.
That's what's crazy. Bitcoin's only worth like 2.2 trillion. Gold's worth 2.5 or 2.6 trillion after this move to 4,000. Also, gold is inflated
25.
every single day. Every day around the world, there's more gold being mined. There's more jewelry being found. There's more treasures being found at the bottom of oceans. That's why it's crazy that it's worth so much, is because the number of gold that they're putting out there probably is far less than the actual amount of gold in the world that isn't even being counted in that figure. So pretty wild, and that means that Bitcoin can 11 or 12x to even catch gold. And gold is really, its primary use case is for looking pretty in jewelry. Like that's what it's used for now. Just saying, when you look up the usage of gold, that's it.
We've agreed as a hedge against fiat mismanagement, etc. Similar to a Bitcoin, but Bitcoin has more utility than gold. I know Bitcoin doesn't look shiny, but you can at least send it. You can actually transact with it. You can carry it across borders. Try walking across the border with 100 billion in gold. It's not possible unless you hold it in an ETF. But Bitcoin is the next gold. It's the digital gold. It's gold for the next generation. And as the elders pass on and move on to the next realm, we will be here talking about Bitcoin. So there you go.
When I think looking at this chart, like this title is misleading, or at least there's more to the story that I think is more relevant to look at. 2x gold's 2x S&P 500 returns over the past 25 years. Okay, let's rewind 3 years ago when gold was at $12 trillion market cap. It was flat. It was even. Like all of that 2x is literally within the last 18 to 24 months or 36 months maybe, right? So like bit different picture than saying, gold's 2xing and there's better to be in gold for the past 25 years than the Nasdaq. That's not true.
I don't think that's true at all. Yeah, I think that's a very misleading headline. I don't think that's
literally
correct, but
it's
be invested in everything.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about this chart is look at 2003 and then what happened after that. And why is 2003 important? That is when the first ever gold spot ETF was created. And that is what we've talked about, why Bitcoin bull market could extend. And maybe that doesn't mean, hey, we go forever because gold didn't go forever. But for the next 10 years after that gold ETF kicked off, you literally went on a massive bull run. So 2003 to like 2012, 2013 was just a big parabolic move. And that was right after the gold spot ETF was launched.
Yeah, look at the chart. I mean, yeah, there's a couple bear markets. I can't see the years, but for the most part, it's been kind of like choppy, right? It's been kind of slow grind up, which is my theory as to what's going to happen to Bitcoin now this ETF's out. So Martin's brought up a great point here. Great point. We need backgrounds. We need better backgrounds. Nate has a great background. We need ether, palm. Yeah, I know. Some sand in a jar. You're absolutely right. Martin, I got a little Paradise poster up in the back. I got to get some more shit here.
Tell you what, I got a little something back here that we'll have to figure out what we do with it. But at some point when we do an IRL event for Crypto Paradise, I think I might have the last bottle of fair.
Oh, I got like 8 of those.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'll put this back in storage for another decade, and then we'll.
Yeah, I got a bunch of those, man. But yeah, we got to step our game up. I'm gonna go buy some stuff online and get like maybe a little Bitcoin thing, maybe an Ethereum thing. I don't know what I'll get, but I've been meaning to do that. So I think you just convinced me, Martin.
I think it's the time in the show that people want some alpha. They want the gems. They want the meme coins. But you got to hit the like button, the share button, and the subscribe button real quick. We're not going to do anything else. We're not going to talk until we get some more likes on YouTube or hit the like on Twitter. And then we'll give you the alpha. We'll talk about the ones that we already gave you in the previous live shows.
We had a really big winner. We've had 2 big winners 2 days in a row, right? Because a couple of days ago, Nick had the Palu call, 10x on the Palu. And then yesterday, we helped to launch Bear AI over on Pulse Chains. Maybe we can cover that a bit because that one's doing very well. 16x, I think, for the earliest buyers over there. Started out at $10,000 market cap, and now it's all the way up to, I guess, 160K is what I saw last, so plenty of room to go. But let's talk about the Bear AI for a minute.
Leave it to Crypto Armor. We say we're not doing anything until you like, share, and subscribe, and then he starts giving away all the alpha. Make him hit the button. Make him click the button.
Well, I will shout out here.
We got background, buy more surf. I mean, I assume I can buy a background thing for like $20, but maybe if it's going to be hundreds of bucks, I might as well just buy more surf. You're absolutely right.
Well, so most of this was either free collected at events or like very cheap, off of the local version of Amazon.
Well, you live in Vietnam, so everything's cheap, man.
Yeah. I should though. I should get some surf art printed up to put back here.
Absolutely.
That's what you should do.
I got that done in Vistaprint. Let's fucking go. But yeah.
All right, here we go. Here's where it all started in the BSC trenches with Palu. This was a call given on October 4th, and then live, even cheaper, in the live show October 6th. It was only about 12 hours later that CZ then tweeted about it. Part of the thesis was that, hey, this looks really cool. This is the little boo-boo of Binance, and I think CZ is going to support it. Well, he did. And the thing went from $6 million market cap to we sold 90% of our bag at $70 million live on air. And then we watched it by the end of the show go to 90-something million. I'm like, oh, sold too soon. We still have 10% of our bag as a moon bag here. Let's see what happens. It's at 100 million right now. And let's see if it can work higher. It's probably a little expensive to jump in now. Unless you believe, you dig into it, you believe the due diligence, and Palu could be the next 250 million, the first $1 billion running on Binance, which is very possible. That's why we kept 10% of our bag. That would still be another 3x to 10x on Palu. This is mainstream. They already listed on Aster. They listed it on Binance Alpha. So it probably does get a Binance listing at some point, which will create green candles. It just depends on, is that going to happen from this level, or is it going to retrace before that happens? The world may never know. Then the next pick was Season, BNB meme season. About 2 hours after I posted this one, what do you know? CZ tweeted literally BNB meme season. Didn't tag the project, but spelt it the exact same way. This thing went soaring. We got in at 750,000 market cap. A couple hours later, absolutely mooned. I stole 50% of the bag at $9 million. It's sitting here at $12 million. Still holding on, hoping it kind of consolidates like Palu, and maybe it wants to rip to new all-time high. It just got announced that it was listed on MEXC, L-Bank, and Aster Dex this morning. I don't know. Does it go higher? I hope so. Will I regret it and it comes all the way back down? Very possible. But we sold 50% of the bag, so we just don't care anymore. That's up 15 or 16x. Now, what is going to be the next one? Another live show call here. I do not have as much conviction in this one, but I was looking in the trenches this morning before the live show. Put a little bit of profits into it. Very small percentage because, again, I don't have as much conviction, but that is 8. We do know that 4 absolutely mooned because CZ does that. I bought it right around here, around 300K market cap, right before the live show, called 8. 8 is the number of wealth over in China. Also, it's the 8th anniversary of Binance. The Twitter seems pretty active. They already got their DEX tools, DEX screener updated, and it's one of the few assets on Binance right now that is under millions of dollars on market cap. Nice rounded bottom here. Got a website. So not as high conviction as Season and Palu, but still an opportunity. I threw a little bit of the BNB profits into this. We'll see what happens. So 8 is the alpha call today. Who knows?
I missed all the calls at the conference. I was out shaking hands and kissing babies while all this alpha was dropping. I missed it.
Well, it's only been for a few days, but yeah, you gotta get back in the trenches, man. It's trench time. It's grind time, and yeah, I love. They have a website.
They have a website. Hey, that's more than it's English.
The bar is not high for these memes.
They got an English website and a Mandarin website. Oh, and then lastly, of course, that's BSC. That's where it all started. There's the progression. That's where we're at. But we helped launch Bear on Pulse Chain. The chain isn't doing much, but Bear did launch at around, I think, a 12K market cap. It's up to 134, 135K market cap right now. Shout out to everybody who got in early. We would love for this consolidate and to break to the upside. Obviously, you want Pulse Chain to do well to help that happen. But Bear AI, why is it interesting? Is to have a real product. One of the first AI platforms to launch on Pulse Chain. They have good token economics with the 5.5% buy tax. And 0.5% of that is going towards buying and burning the Surf token, which is absolutely amazing. So Bear, I do know, has no airdrop, no VCs, no pre-sale. They do have some team tokens. They're going to use that for marketing. They're already reaching out to some KOLs, some influencers, some participants on Pulse Chain to see, hey, are you interested in getting some of these coins and, trying out the AI platform, telling your community about the AI platform and see if they're interested in the utility behind the Bear AI token. So this one could be a good runner here on Pulse Chain as that network continues to play out. But how did it affect the Surf token? If you come to CryptoParadise.net, go to Surf and go to the dashboard. This is why we keep helping people build on Pulse Chain. Number one, we're getting our Surf DAO in very early. But number two, as they find success, we find success. In the last 24 hours, over 207,000 Surf have been bought and burned off the market, taking the total supply reduction to 3.31%. Now we have Surf burning itself. You have YakDAO burning Surf. You have Bear AI burning Surf. There's more projects coming that will burn Surf. You also have RhinoFi having a massive LP with Surf and X Protocol having a massive LP with Surf. So as Pulse Chain develops and gets going, all of these projects have their own communities, their own founders, their own teams that are all going to drive value back to the Surf token and the Surf token holders.
Yeah, man. Congrats to Bear. Speaking of teams and founders, we've been working with Ron, the founder of Bear, for going on 1.5, maybe 2 years.
Long time.
He's a builder at heart. He works his butt off. We were going through the grinder and the ringer as to launch pads and pre-sale, and it's like, you know what, that math doesn't math anymore. Pre-sales aren't really working out. Launch pads are all just scammy and basically stealing people's money. So let's do a fair launch. Let's do a fair launch on Pulse Chain, which is the best chain for DeFi. But guess what Pulse Chain didn't really have? It didn't have a lot of AI tooling and AI infrastructure. So there was an opening there. So perfect opportunity for Bear to launch on Pulse Chain. And I know Ron's feeling invigorated. I know he's got a lot of marketing plan. I know he's happy to have his token finally out after all these years. And I think he's going to do a really good job with Bear.
Well, he's definitely, I mean, dedication. You can't ask for more than grinding it out in the trenches, self-funding for 2 years now. So he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, the biggest thing to me is I just like how active he is, and he's trying to figure out a plan and set aside some tokens for some marketing and true believers. And there's no airdrop, no VCs, no pre-sale, no team to dump on you. So that's really good to see. And look, they're trending on Dex Screener. They got Dex Screener updated, Dex Tools updated. What else they got going on? He's just more in tune with the trenches, getting these graphics out. You would expect somebody who can develop an AI platform is going to be able to use AI very well to market his own brand. And you can see that here. Bear liquidity pairs are live on Pulse Chain. Great graphic. Of course, it's paired with PLS, PLSX, Hex, and Ink. Also paired with PTGC, X, and Surf. It's buying and burning all three of these tokens. So it benefits the other bags that we own here at Crypto Paradise, but also maybe you get some support from these communities as they find out about Bear, and they find out that, hey, if Bear goes to the moon, it helps drag all your tokens to the moon with the buy and burns and the liquidity pairs that they've done there. And of course, it always supports the blue chips of Pulse Chain, which is really the mantra of how you find success over there.
So how's Pulse Chain doing these days? Yesterday, the big story was it looked like the SAC wallet was moving funds, at least through Tornado Cash. Did it ever get bridged over? Do we know? What's the update on Pulse?
Well, it's through Tornado Cash, so we're never going to really know, but no big bridges have occurred. Yesterday when we were talking about it was exactly at the low, so it's up like 1% or something off that low. Not doing much. This is the green line that we've been talking about. It needs to break above. We were down here. We're like, it needs to get above this green line. It poked its head, and it just hasn't. So doom and gloom happens if you break below this uptrend line. We do not want to see that happen. 5,400 ETH did come directly out of that Pulse Chain SAC wallet into Tornado Cash. And why would they do that? So that way it can get bridged into the account anonymously, or maybe the people calling Richard Hart a scammer are correct, and maybe Richard Hart just got a $22 million payday. We'll have to wait and see. I do know tomorrow is Richard Hart's birthday. Wouldn't that be quite the birthday celebration if he started bridging $22 million to the chain? I don't know if the timing's going to happen that quickly, but hey, we were in the live show saying, hey, maybe Richard Hart's just going to say fuck it and full port the Pulse Chain SAC wallet, and literally 12 hours later, he started full porting the SAC wallet. So maybe he's listening now. Have a good birthday celebration. I'm not going to push it and ask for a live show or recording, but a couple green candles and some anonymous money coming across that bridge and pumping these bags, that'll make for a good birthday celebration. I know he's watching everybody calling CZ the GOAT, the best KOL, a hero. That's what he wants, is the glory. How do you do that? You got to get active. You got to create green candles. You got to bring the trenches back to life.
Well, I got to bounce here in a minute. I got a call I got to hop to, but this is something that I have been talking about for a while now, that I believe this is when we get the eventual parabolic blow off top, especially on the retail side. This is my theory and what is going to be the driver. So right now we've got all these cult of personalities. You got CZ at Binance. You got Brian Armstrong at Coinbase. You got Justin Sun at Tron. You've got Charles at Cardano. You got Richard Hart at Pulse Chain. You have all these foundations with hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars that they've been raising over the past few months here. And they've already started hinting at it. CZ's already hinted at it. CZ's already, I think, started deploying. Brian Armstrong has talked about they're waiting for the right time to start deploying. And he's already started doing little tweets here and there. I think what sends this market into the parabolic blow-off for the end of the cycle, whenever that may be, is when we get a billionaire dick-swinging competition. When they're all out there dumping money into their ecosystems, fighting over users, fighting over devs, fighting over projects to come launch in their ecosystem, and you have CZ and Brian and Richard Hart and Justin Sun, Charles Hoskinson, all these guys firing on all cylinders, tweeting out into the abyss, blasting money into their ecosystems. That's when we see things explode, and that's where the real winners are. All of us that are here right now that are getting into these different ecosystems, that are picking up the BNB gyms and the Pulse Chain gyms and all the little bit here and there and all these other ecosystems, and eyes on the market, eyes on the target at the end of the goal. When these big boys start swinging and battling against each other, that's where we all come out the winners there. And that's my theory, that when that happens, and I think it's still going to happen this cycle. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they wait and they start deploying in the bear market or next cycle. I don't think that's the case. I think we get that before the end of this cycle. And man, is it going to be a glorious fireworks when that happens.
Yeah, Brian, CZ, all you Chads, if you're listening, it's time to collude up. It's time to have a nice Telegram group chat going. And all right, boys, time to deploy.
Get that BDSC going. Get that billionaire dick
let's
swinging
move some
competition
billions
in
into
motion.
the market. Just mark it by. But yeah, no, this could well happen. And it kind of does happen, I mean, at some point, whether it's orchestrated by the founders or just kind of how the market goes. But eventually you get to a point where things are pumping, these chains feel they have money, and they just keep deploying, and they keep going. They keep saying, okay, more grants are coming in. You know, more product. We're going to launch more products. We're going to try to get these devs to build the next new, the next new perp decks, etc. So that is kind of how it goes. We're not quite there yet, I don't think, because it still feels like it's basically Bitcoin time and then BNB. We're not on this like everything pump, but it's coming, guys. End of the year is going to be explosive. So I will leave you guys with that. I know, Nate, you got to go. By the way, good morning.
Gents.
Good morning to Moonmutt. Thank you, sir. Hex, thank you for liking the live stream. Thank you for tuning in every day. Let us know, guys, if you want us to cover a specific topic, a specific project, a category of projects. Who knows? What do you guys want to hear about? We're here to give you guys the insights and the alpha, but we need your support and we need your questions. Anything else today on your end there, Crypto Hitman? You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't talk yet. I was trying to share my screen. I mean, another one from Pulse Chain to keep an eye on that amidst Pulse Chain not doing much, has done very well at the low, is Peacock. This is kind of the official coin of Liberty Swap, which is the #1 bridging platform on Pulse Chain. They continue to figure out ways to integrate Peacock into their kind of suite of products. And this one, if you believe that Pulse Chain is going to do well and Liberty Swap is going to remain kind of the #1 onboarding tool to Pulse Chain, then of course this Peacock token will be a beneficiary. So that's what I like. Liberty Swap is #1 onboarding tool. They are very much in the trenches. This is their meme. It's doing well off the lows, even while Pulse Chain is floundering. Has thick liquidity, meaning when Pulse Chain and stuff goes up inevitably, it's going to drag Peacock higher. So although a majority of our portfolio is the Surf token, maybe you got some PTGC, maybe you got some blue chips, I think Peacock is kind of a meme over on Pulse Chain that is really more than a meme and is worth taking a look. And yeah, keep following along on Bear. Just launched. I think that one, if they do some marketing, could do well. And then the newest selection for the BSC trenches, right around these levels. We're in a 300K market cap. It's 330 right now. Is 8. We don't have as much conviction in that one as we did Paul Lu and Season. But, you got to take some swings with some profits if you want to keep finding the next gem. Until the music stops and you run out of chairs, you got to figure out the next opportunity, and that might be it.
Yeah, that's a great point. There comes a time when there will be diminishing returns on these BNB calls, but right now it seems like it's fertile ground for pumps over there. So good work, great calls. Yeah, also Peacock, man. We made a call on Peacock, I believe, to the Surf DAO right around the time it launched, just on the theory that, hey, they've built great infrastructure and great tech. It's the best bridge on Pulse Chain. There is some kind of speculation that the core Pulse Chain devs are behind it. Obviously, they're extremely active on social media. They're kind of like Chads in the trenches. So a lot to like over on Peacock. Glad to see that one's running and doing well. I know one of our community members, Joey's a big supporter of Peacock, so shout out to you, Joey. But we just need Pulse Chain to start running again, and then that's going to drag everything up. It's just not that time. Attention's on BNB. There's some wonderful opportunities on BNB, which I'm very happy about. So we will keep our eyes and ears to the trenches, and hopefully have some more calls for you guys here soon. But yeah, great stuff today. Glad to have Nate back. We didn't really hear about the conferences, by the way. That's true. How we were going. But, you got 10 X's to distract you. I guess the conference is pretty boring in comparison.
That is very true. Yeah, I mean, we kind of covered everything. Eye on Bitcoin and Ethereum. If it goes to new highs for the move here, that means the ABC correction is already over. Even if we get down to 119, 119.5, I wouldn't be a panicker. All the bears will come out if that happens. But that could be an ending move before the next leg higher. So I think the best move now, stay long, stay conviction. If you have some cash, maybe try to dabble in chasing some things on BSC or buy BNB itself. And weather this next week or two of volatility before inevitably the Fed is about to cut interest rates again. Quantitative easing continues. and the historical explosive Q4 of 2025 is finally here.
Let's go. Let's go, October. Let's go. All right, boys and girls, thank you for joining on today. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time with more alpha analysis, news, and fun banter. And until next time, guys, we will see you on the beach.